All right. And good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting week of Track Limits Racing 2026, season number 1, week 3 at Long Beach. I'm Fettuccini back in the booth, and joining me once again, as always, Phil, Millie, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you doing?
Oh, not terrible. Actually, pretty good. I
Yeah.
should say not terrible. I don't want to walk it entirely to the
Yeah.
opposite end. So, good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a saying in Norway that like when somebody says, "How are you doing?" you say awake and not crying.
No,
So,
hell yeah.
yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine. That's fine. I mean, uh one of the things we got to get into I mean, we're looking at these track conditions right here at Long Beach. We got 20
Mhm.
degrees, 89% humidity, partly cloudy skies. 19-kilometer wind gusts or
Yeah.
wind
Yep.
out of whatever direction iRacing wants to point it.
I
But the
don't,
thing is that partly cloudy skies. I think there are darker clouds rolling in, and that's going to be in the form of multi-class traffic. I think we have a 99% chance of some multi-class
oh, man.
nonsense today.
Yeah, absolutely. I was starting to get worried that you were saying there was going to be rain on the horizon in addition to all this, and I was be like, "That's nutty," but it's still bonkers. But I think a little bit more accurate to it. Yeah, multi-class traffic gonna be the name of the game. I think tonight here for all of these drivers that are out here on track. Real quick before we get into qualifying, we want to take a few minutes to talk about the points battles that are already emerging. We'll have a graphic for you next week to go with them, but we'll talk about them real quick as we get into the tail end of practice.
All right. I've got the spreadsheets pulled up on my
right.
end.
Take us
Let's
away.
talk about the LMP3s. I mean, LMP3 Pro category, Jaden on top with 96 points. It's a good start for Jaden. He hasn't really kind of put a foot wrong so far. Um, Soon TM we'll find out at Long Beach. But yeah, we do still have some close runners. I mean, to be honest, the top 5 in LMP3 Pro, depending on how drop rounds could factor in, I think are all really solidly in contention. Well, I'd say even down to the top 7, I think.
Yeah.
Because Ethan's got one race that he missed, so that's going to calculate into his drop round. So I still feel like there's still so much to play for LMP3 Pro.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think also the tie between Gene Cardoso and Benjamin O'Shea for that third place podium spot as well is nowhere close to being, I think, resolved in any meaningful capacity. And that means we get exciting racing to figure out who's going to end up on top of those two. And I think the AM championship a little more spread out for LMP3s, but I think Nathaniel Wilkins only being 4 points ahead of Garrett Hillman. And then the tie between Ryan Blythe and Alan Love for 4th means that I think we still have, like you said, so much to play for, especially when you include a drop round for these drivers. I think that'll make this an even tighter championship as well.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's just it's one of those things where we're still early days, and it's going to be a little while before we see how things start to shake out. But yeah, I'm just going to be really excited if we can get some really good competitive racing, and not only that, with 3 drop rounds, like there's I think opportunities to take more risks. So
yeah, I think there's only going to be.
We'll see how that works out for him.
Absolutely. The risk, I think, is going to be a fun thing to see tonight, especially given how narrow Long Beach is. GT3s, I think there is so many battles up and down this grid. It's going to be definitely a litany of, I think, on-track action to watch tonight, especially as we get into the mix of multi-class racing, especially in that feature race for these drivers. It's going to be a busy one, for sure.
Yeah, I think so. I think, man, it's another one of those when I look at the rankings and stuff like that, and I see, I mean, I'm looking down all the way to like P13, and I feel like I feel like everyone from P13 upward, still within like striking distance as the season goes on. I mean, we've seen exceptional pace from Tyler Torville and Tanner Schiffner already out of the gates. Chris Turner has been looming in the background with Gab Chavez this whole time. Tommy Kogan, kind of been holding like typical Tommy Kogan fashion. Just him and Mark Cohen both just like cashing in like consistency.
Yep.
So I feel like they could be with 3 drop rounds in the mix. I feel like the stronger drivers might be a little bit favored in that equation, but at the same time too, you can't count folks like Tommy and Mark out.
Yeah.
And then I would also like to see from the mid pack there from that 7, 8, 9 position, like Ryan Beauchene, Andrew Mathias, and Matt Pyle. I'd like to see them kind of creep up and start to compete with maybe 3, 4, and 5 between Chris Turner and Tommy Kogan, and kind of see if they can shake things up.
I get the feeling that three-way battle is going to be a little bit different after this week, or certainly after we get to the midway point here in a few weeks' time. Jump over to GT4 briefly.
Yeah.
I think probably the biggest gap I think I've seen out of all of the kind of leading points here, I think maybe except for Mr. Ledbetter in the LMP3 Pro, Jake Hewitt, 12 points to Henry Garcia, who's tied with Scott Fleming for P2 and P3 in that podium spots. Tight battle there, especially between Henry Garcia, Scott Fleming, and Nick Bowen. I'd love to see how drop rounds also impact and see if Corey Labner has a good answer as a result. I think tonight's going to be busy, though.
It's going to be busy. And the GT4s, I think, are going to have they're going to have to really knuckle down for this race. It's going to be a race about survival. I really think pace is going to be not even a secondary consideration. It's going to be, can you just stay out of trouble? Jake Hewitt has been overperforming right now. He's scored the most points out of any competitor relative to category this season. So Jake is going to have to try and keep that going. And it's tricky because, I mean, the distance between P4 and Jake Hewitt right now, Nick Bowen, it's not that far.
No.
So we'll kind of see, but those pro runners up at the front, they've been doing really good to kind of like maximize their points payouts. And to be honest, I mean, consistently, I would say on average, the top 4 in GT4 Pro are outperforming all the other categories right now in terms of like points payouts. So I kind of want to see that keep going. I think that would be good to see.
I think it would be as well. One last group I want to touch on before we get into the qualifying proper GT4 AMs, not to be, I think, left out in the cold, especially with how close this has started out this season. Sean Sullivan only 6 points ahead of Adrian Matuzak, and Drew Friedman, who are both tied for second and third on the, will be second on the podium spots for second and third. And Sean Harvey, only 3 points behind those two. And Logan Branson, only 5 points behind that. You include a drop round in those, and that, I think, turns into like a 3-point gap between all of those drivers. Yeah. And that's going to be, I think, a very busy track.
Yeah, I think P1 through P8, GT4 AM right now, you definitely don't want to sleep on this category. Everybody is well within striking distance at the front when you calculate those drop rounds. So going to be really interested to see how that plays out. We do have some newcomers to GT4 AM. We got Jonathan Barrett and Joseph Savage joining in. So GT4 AM classification growing a little bit. So yeah, I think we just got an opportunity here for some really exciting racing.
I think we do as well. And I think it might be a good time to adjust our focus a little more, I think, short term, I guess, technically. Well, I was going to say more short term. Luke Patrick finding the wall on his first attempt at a flyer. I think it's going to be a very busy track as soon as we get the opportunity for these drivers to get a lap in. Are you familiar with Long Beach and its road course and how the track is driven with LMP3s?
Yeah, it is. Well, with LMP3s, I would say it's probably going to be very similar to kind of like how you tackle it with open wheelers.
Yes.
Getting set up right now. So heading down into this first corner right here, we've got the pit exit, and you've actually got the control line goes pretty far out before the entry into turn 1. And this can be really, really tricky for traffic as the pit stops are starting to come into play. So now getting ready to go into the found section here, you've got this real tight, twisty section here. And the thing is that this is where traffic management is going to be key, especially between the GT4s and LMP3 classes. Until they get down, and we got a wall tap right there, so that's already going to compromise the lap now. Heading down towards the Tecate turn here, it is going to be imperative that you're going to have to wait for these open sections to pass before you get to Seaside Way here. Because again, once you get into this section here, you're probably going to be dealing with traffic jostling about. You're going to get stuck behind some people, and then if you can get a clear opening, maybe send it up the inside into Firestone Corner here. But that right there is we're going to see a lot of cars understeering in this section, especially if they're trying to go super late on the brakes. And then the hairpin here, again, like a lot of LMP3s are going to feel the need to want to send it up the inside. There's not really a lot of room for two cars to exit that corner together, but that's what we're going to see here around Long Beach.
I think it is. I think it's very interesting to me. I missed one. All right, cool. Well, let me go fix that as we dive on board. I think we'll see if Gab Chavez puts in another lap for us while I'm fixing this. GT3s, I think, are pretty similar, but just a little different.
Yeah. GT3s, again, they're going to have more assist capability in comparison to the LMP3s. LMP3s and their traction control is kind of a joke, and the lack of anti-lock brakes in some of the hard braking zones is going to be really a trick for them to manage. But again, GT3s leveraging as much of the assist as they can, leaning on the car, exiting Tecate Corner now and heading into this wide open section here. Again, this is the part where we're going to be seeing a lot of people jostling for passes, and that's before we hit the entry into Seaside. Seaside, again, another one of those corners where you can understeer, go into the wall on the left, and then you got the straightaway down here to Firestone. Let's see what he does under braking as he enters the corner here. This is way cleaner than we were seeing from the LMP3s before. Into IndyCar, I believe this is the Indy left, and then into... taking a very, very wide entry before the hairpin, but giving himself lots of space on corner exit.
Yeah.
We're going to see what time we're going to post.
I think we will see. Seemed like a pretty clean lap. I don't know if it was an improvement, though. The answer is yes. Jumping himself up to second before he gets immediately pulled away by Tanner Shifter. I'm super curious to see how these drivers work it out. I'm going to see Nick Bowen mostly the way through his lap, and he's currently leading GT4, and that's going to be pretty similar. If we get the opportunity here to see another onboard here with these drivers, you'll see what looks to be probably pretty similar to the GT3 lines here, but just a little bit slower on the straights. I think that you talked about it midway through this last lap. I think we'll talk about it again when we get to it. Passing, I think, is really going to be done here, and a couple other straights that really give it the opportunity. This whole first sector, pretty much from here up until we get to that sharp left-hander, we come back down the kind of two-way street that you're on one side of for most of it.
Tecate.
Yeah, Tecate Corner. That's going to be, I think, an interesting passing point that may be good, especially for some of these drivers, but it may not be quite enough space, depending on how, especially for the GT3s trying to pass GT4s, or LMP3s trying to pass GT3s. Yeah. This isn't quite enough space. I'd almost wait until that back stretch after the Seaside to get a pass done on a slower class, because you're really not losing that much time, and you end up putting a lot of risk in this corner because it's such a high commitment for every class that it's really easy to lose control of a car here and create an incident or be responsible for ending up in one.
Yeah, it's going to be the incidents are going to come quite frequent in this one. I think everyone in the audience should probably strap in. This is going to be a wild ride. I believe last time I took a peek, I'm going to go check one more time, but we have 52 cars.
Just a small grid.
So it's going to be a crowded Long Beach, and I just think we're going to have to really, the drivers are going to have to do extra diligence. They are going to have to, like, the people that are going to win out, people that are going to win out are going to have their head on a swivel, and they are going to sacrifice overall pace for survival. Because if you don't finish, you're not going to finish first.
Mm-hmm.
I completely butchered that quote, but I hope I get my point across.
You did.
The key thing here is that you have to manage traffic around here. We have 52 cars, 3 categories on track at the same time. GT3s, they are not going to have the same level of opportunity to drag race some of the LMP3s in some of these sections, but at the same time too, they're pretty close on power. So LMP3s are going to have to be paying close attention to battling GT3s for position in some of these corners. It's going to be tricky.
Yeah, especially
there's no doubt about it.
When they're only about 2 seconds a lap faster, it's a pretty narrow margin that it gets eaten up real quickly as soon as you dive into multi-class traffic. That makes just being in the extra patience really worth it for these cars as you get into kind of the lap traffic. I know it's definitely one that pays off big time in almost every street circuit, as well as some of the like not street circuit but has narrow walls type experience that we see in the likes of Bathurst and the Nordschleife. Just patience pays off so big. Getting a good run out of a corner rather than trying to dive in to make the lunge you have such a better line through that and get a good exit and a great run. You save yourself the pain of having to spend time and getting repairs done, which I think it's a huge one for most of us.
Yeah, it is going to be so critical to maximize your time on track and to minimize your time in the pits. The pit strategy is going to be such a huge deal. And with that, I mean, we're getting close to the end of quali here in another 10 seconds. This is the calmest you all will see tonight.
Yes.
This right here, you will probably never see a car in this level of solitude after we start this race. I don't think it's possible. And with that qualifying over, do we want to talk about the finishing results, sir?
Yeah, we'll talk about this grid and where we get set up for our 15-minute, if I remember correctly, heat race here. I want to make sure I got my numbers right.
20 minutes.
Sorry, 20-minute heats across the board this season. That's such a big change from last season.
Yep.
Different length features. Just a 70-minute feature tonight, if I remember correctly. So not as long as we saw it both at Daytona and Sebring the past couple of weeks. But Ethan Hamlet gonna kick us off in LMP3 Pro. Alongside him is going to be Mike Bowen, a fantastic result, but still almost a second per lap slower in that car. Third is going to be Luke Patrick alongside Jaden Ledbetter, who comes home in fourth for the qualifying. Gian Cardoso and Benjamin O'Shea, that third place podium battle starting alongside each other to kick off row number 3. Michael Lively and Nathaniel Baker are going to be in row number 4 as I find the buttons to hit the things. And we're going to get a couple more here. In 9th and 10th, it's going to be Alex Velasco and Quinn Fenimore. Tyler Crow alongside Paul Miles or Milo. Garrett Hillman, Alan Love, going to finish up Garrett Hillman's going to finish up the LMP3 AM podium with Alan Love alongside him. And then Zachary Minnis and Cameron Robertson going to round out the LMP 16 car LMP3 grid. Phil, GT3s, how are they looking?
So we got Tyler Torville and Tommy Cogan on the front row, and then we've got Gab Chavez, Tanner Schiffner. They're going to be duking it out in the second row with Stephen McLean, Kyle Potter, Christopher Blue, and Andrew Mathias. Austin Green's going to line up alongside Ryan Beauchesne, and then Matt Pyle and Robert Lewis, 26th, 27th overall on the grid, with Ian Southern and Chris Turner side by side. Mark Coyne and Paul York going to go at it, with Ryan Nolan rounding out the GT3s.
Yeah, I think we also have Herbert Pineda, who's hiding out there.
Oh, we got Herbert.
Background. Yes.
Yeah.
No, another one of the many drivers that didn't get a good lap time in. And I want to kick this off. Nick Bowen alongside Scott Fleming for GT4 Pro, Jake Hewitt and Henry Garcia in row number 2. Tim Mello and Corey Lobner rounding out the 5th and 6th position. 7th is going to be Colin Johnson. William Lewis going to be leading off GT4 AM in 8th. Dave Schneider and Levi Powell in 9th and 10th. 11th and 12th, Logan Branson, Sean Harvey. We have Sean Sullivan, as well as Jonathan Barrett, John Newman, Andrew Seelig, as well as Adrian, Marzak and Joseph Savage round out the 18-car GT4 grid and the 52-car field tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be something else.
We'll try
I hope you all are seriously ready. And I really, if you could pull up the the track map, let's take a look and see how much space these classes are giving one another, because I wonder if these LMP3s are going to be able to get into turn one without the GT3s stumbling upon a pile of fencing equipment. So we're gonna find out though. And it's going to be right now. It's going to be right now, in fact, because that's the pace car coming in.
Yep, which means that Ethan Hamlet gets the lead away of this field. Shortened pace lap. He finally is going to wait pretty long. Gets the green flag going. Mike Bowen going to get a good run as well. Patrick is going to lose out a little bit of time to Jaden Ledbetter on that launch. And we're going to see here all of them dogpiling down into turn number one. I'm going to see if we can get through this. Most of this field looking like they get through well and solid. But here come the GT3s as they get their green flag underway. Tyler Trovo getting a good run there. We got a few cars, I think, running into each other into the GT3, the LMP3 field. And
actually, what I'm noticing is a pileup in the GT4s potentially coming out of the hairpin before the start of the lap. We're going to see what happens here in a minute, folks, because that was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Turn number one for GT3s is okay. GT4s already on the loud pedal, like Nick Bowen getting a great run, Scott Fleming getting a good run as well. And see how they all pair through almost three wide down into turn number one here for some of these drivers. We'll see. I think all of them get through plenty well. Gian Cardoso having a crash and having to tow to the pit road. Amongst all this, we got a spun car. I believe that's going to be
somebody riding in the bushes there.
I think that was Sean Harvey, who had just got a little turned around from where he started. And he's going to have to Austin Points turn it to get it around and get it going the right way. Paul Miles, a few other drivers going a little bit slow out of the hairpin. Going to have to probably adjust my marker there for that, because it'll be labeling cars I think has crashed all night for those hairpins. But I think we do have one car, a couple cars that have crashed, including Matt Pyle amongst those. As we see lap number one get done for the GT3s. All right.
Yeah, I think it's going to be all about, like, you're going to have to maintain, like, your calm.
Yeah.
It's going to be so tricky. We've already got some cars that have dove back to the pits after the start of the race, but yeah, that might be the end for some of these guys. They may be waiting out the heat race and just going straight into the feature. With that said, just looking at the relatives right now, we still got a tight field in LMP3. We got a few close races between Luke Patrick, Benjamin O'Shea. I believe that's also Alex Velasco and Tyler Crow involved in some closeness. GT3s are much closer, and then the GT4s are just absolutely bound together.
Where did Tyler Crow get a meatball from?
That's a good question.
With Zachary Minnis.
Yep, both of them labeled with meatball flags, so that is going to be that's going to be problematic. They're going to have three laps to go in and get that solved for, but they will have fast repairs. And with the heat race, as long as they don't take tires, they can take that fast repair, not even take any fuel probably, and just dive straight back out onto the track and try and maximize their positions.
Ian Southern going to go side by side with Paul York in the GT3 field amongst this. I think it'll be a good one, but this will be an awkward situation. Mark Coyne also getting tagged in the background of this. Herbert Pineda accidentally runs into him. That's Mark Coyne checked up for them.
Just want to remind any of the drivers that are listening on stream right now, just want to remind you, 2 cars will not exit the hairpin side by side. Repeat, 2 cars will not exit side by side from the hairpin.
Just give each other a little bit of grace to get through all of that. And I think
it's not even that. It's just like if you're the inside guy, like you might win. You might win out on that battle if you touch. But if that car that's on the outside hits the wall hard enough and then you hit them, you're going to get T-boned. That's what's going to happen. Your back end is going to hit them, your front end's going to spin around, and you're going to be sitting sideways on the exit of a hairpin.
That I think you will. It's going to be. It's never ends well to do too wide.
We can just do it. We can do it for science right now. We'll just wait and see.
It'll happen eventually, I suppose.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Gab Chavez trying to find his way around Tyler Torville.
Now, see, that's an area where you can start to push it, where it's like if the person who's going into the corner ahead of you, like scuffs up the entry, goes a little too deep, you getting the opportunity to do the over under, because if they're taking a wider exit angle and you're taking the more acute exit angle, like you can potentially pull it off right there. But you usually start that pass from behind, not beside.
Yeah. And that is, Billy, did you get a better exit out of the hairpin? That's so, I think, also true out of Seaside as well. You can use that as a great opportunity if you get a good run coming out of that corner to leverage that speed and that pace. Kind of following along. One of the closer battles on track. Field spreads out pretty quick here. And I think we have a quick opportunity as well, I think, to kind of jump back and see what happened to Gian Cardoso as well as Matt Pyle there at the opening lap. I was going to take like a quick, that is a already damaged car.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Let's see if I can go back a little further. Nope, that's exactly where it was just a moment ago. Where is the first incident of that? There we go. Okay, let's follow along here with Gian Cardoso coming through alongside. Oh, that's where that came in. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Crow in the background of that. Okay.
Yep.
Not quite sure I fully understood what just happened here. So I'm going to take a look one more time at it to make sure I get a better idea. Gets tapped right there, loses control of it, gets bumped a couple times here, and that causes the rear end to just fall apart. And then he has a meatball at that point for that rear suspension. I think the similar thing is true of what happened to Tyler Crow, as well as, I believe it was Zachary Minnis amongst all that.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Again, it's one of those things where I think patience is going to be like the single most important thing you could carry into this.
Yeah.
That is a broken left front.
Yeah, that is. I think it is. Andrew Marozak joining those with meatball flags early on in this race. Mike Bowen, also another driver with a meatball flag from P2, who has found his way back in front of Gian Cardoso as one of the two drivers to kind of work his way back out. Battle, it wasn't really a battle, excuse me. Looking at overall positions, Jake Hewitt kind of keeping up with Zachary Minnis as he works his way through in the back end of LMP3. We got the first bit of multi-class traffic that these LMP3 Pro and Am drivers are working through. And I'm trying to find who's at the end of this. I think it's Quinn. Yes. See if I can ride aboard with Quinn and see how busy this track is looking right now out of his front, out of his mailbox slot.
Yep.
Oh, he's going to make
Here's what we were talking about before. Yep. You thought you were going to make the lunge, and then, oh, no.
Oh, and there's LMP3 traffic on both sides. Garrett Hillman right behind these drivers was on the outside of that corner. We didn't quite see it from where we were looking at. Mm-hmm. But he's now in the rearview mirror. You can see it on that display at the top of the screen. And Alan Love.
And see, go ahead, sir.
No, I was say Alan Love not far behind either.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's going to give Alan Love an opportunity to maybe catch up to this crowd. The thing to remember about this, especially when you go down Seaside, the walls are not straight. They do have kinks in them because, again, these are normal like city streets when this race isn't happening, and the walls have like little individual kinks and stuff like that. So it was very fortunate when we were watching that battle that the traffic on the inside had freed up before it started to narrow on the right side. Otherwise, I could very well see an LMP3 just like touch the wall, feel like they're touching it kind of like innocently, and then all of a sudden the car just spins.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep our eye on it.
And we see the procession of LMP3s trying to get around the lap traffic of Jonathan Barrett coming alongside and getting around John Newman in the process.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul
That's
Mile
pretty crazy right now.
being patient, not running into John Newman in the process to get through 3 wide along the back stretch. Battles ebb and flow across this track. Ethan Hamlet 8 seconds ahead of Jaden Ledbetter, who currently has Luke Patrick to fight with and contend with. Here, let me see if I got this setup right. Yeah, there we go. There's Luke Patrick.
And Jaden's running up into some GT4 traffic, I believe, as we're getting ready to go into the fountain section.
Locking up
again,
the brakes.
It's got to be, yep, it's like, oh, throwing it up the inside right before we go into this tight section here, and that is, that's brave.
I think Luke Patrick made contact with the wall there. I don't think it was enough to give damage, but Nick Bowen, lead of GT4 Pro still, and GT4 overall. Currently getting finished up, and then I think 8 seconds ahead.
Oh, and that is in the wall for
no,
Luke Patrick. I think that is going to be a sizable amount of damage to the front left.
Yeah, looks like it. See a more clearly onboard view, or that's the right side, which looks perfectly fine. I mean, the left side. Still the right side, apparently.
Looks like he might have a little bit of a bent suspension on the front left, but he's going to keep it out on track. He's going to keep going.
Yeah, it doesn't need to come in yet. Definitely see that kind of indent of the tire where it's no longer flush with the bodywork. Taking a look back here, GT3 has a 4-car fight. Kyle Potter at the tail end of it. After his day in VSCA, I think he's been here to have a little bit of fun in this championship as well. Whole lot of cars. So I got another onboard that looks pretty decent to give him a good feel. This is a busy track. You can see all of the dots of all of these cars working their way through. We have this pack of cars of GT3. And then we also have another series of about 3 cars being tailed by, I think it's Ryan Beauchesne.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I mean, we're on lap number 9, and we're not even halfway through the race.
We are not.
Like, the laps are going to be fast.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to be hectic. I just got to wonder, like, in this sort of situation, what car do you pick? Would you rather be on the end of the GT4, or would you rather be in the middle? Like, what car class would you be targeting on a track this chaotic right now?
This chaotic, I would almost want to be in the GT3 or the GT4 just to make it a little bit easier. Though, realistically, I know I would probably pick the prototype just because it's prototype, and those are just generally more fun for me than GT machinery is. But the reliability and safety and consistency I could probably achieve with some good practice in a GT3 would be the thing I'd be looking for in street circuits. It's kind of the thing that really makes street circuits one of the good pieces, that you have no room for error, and you have to really learn to move within the bounds of the track, which can be good oftentimes. But
sir, can we jump over to that battle with Gab Chavez right now?
Yeah, that's
take a look.
Right up the road.
Tommy's right there.
Yeah, right. Tommy's right there. Tanner Schiffner right behind him. He's lost contact with Tyler Tourville, who is now 4 seconds up the road. And
probably our closest battle right now.
Yes, I would say it basically is Alex Velasco joining those who have Meatball for, I think, probably a series of incidents. Take a look at that here in a moment. I want to see if there is a movement here from Tommy Cogan. So Tyler Tourville losing a second as they get into GT4 traffic themselves. You can see the first tail end of it here with William Lewis and the more proper battling in GT4. GT4 very spread out. Oh, that's going to make it a short line for Kyle Potter. He's going to lose a little bit of time there at the tail end of this fight. Logan Branson trying to not get run over by all these GT3s.
Yeah, this is the tricky part right here. This is giving Gab Chavez and Tommy Cogan a little bit of breathing room.
Mm-hmm.
But Tommy Cogan is keeping pace. He's keeping Gab Chavez honest.
Yeah, certainly is much like Gab was earlier to Ty Trullerville, which he's lost 2 seconds in the past lap. Tyler Trullerville has to Gab Chavez and Tommy Kogan, but I think that's because he is in more serious GT4 traffic, and you can see where Gab Chavez is right behind them, and I think the answer is very much so.
And it's tricky too because I mean the GT4s probably are going to just try and hold their line, and the thing is that both those cars, like, they don't have the same kind of like downforce that the LMP3s do, and even with the assist and stuff like that, they're going to have some understeer. So if you've got a GT3 that's trying to push the limits on the inside, I would not be shocked if we start to see some more side-by-side contact between these two car classes.
I wouldn't be surprised either, especially in kind of these kind of more awkward corners. Like Christopher Blue trying to get around. Oh, that's going to spin.
Yep.
Logan Branson, that's going to cause a bottleneck of cars. That is just going to bring all of these back into a fight.
Yep, and then that's when I'll say, I repeat, you can't exit the hairpin side by side.
You cannot. Take a quick look back. I think I saw this happen, but I want to make sure we take a look at it. Oh. Alex Velasco nailed that
hit
wall.
That barrier pretty hard.
Yeah.
That looked that is that was an unfortunate contact. So with the whole incident involving Christopher Blue, Logan Branson, and the hairpin, that has pulled some more GT3 competitors into the mix here, and now we've got Ryan Beauchene, Robert Lewis, Chris Turner. Well, Chris Turner is a little bit further back,
a little bit,
but he's still within striking distance. But yeah, that is pulling that group of cars together, and Ryan showing the nose.
Yeah, trying to get that Corvette kind of a little bit, looking to see if we can get around that GRPK liveried Corvette that Christopher Blue is driving, which we've had a couple people in the chat excited about it. I think they're less excited to see the incident there, but hold on, Robert Lewis trying to take a look at Ryan Beauchene, because I think Robert Lewis had a much better exit out of the hairpin. It goes side by side.
He's going to give Ryan a little bit of harassment going into turn one, and then they're setting up for the fountain section. Again, the pressure is just going to keep piling on to I believe that is that Sean McLean in front of Christopher Blue now?
Yeah. McLean in that Lamborghini, that Ace Motorsports Lamborghini. Got a few of those floating around the track. Ace Motorsports teammates. You have Stephen McLean in one of the cars. You have Herbert Pineda, as well as, I believe, just up the road. Or, sorry, just down the road? Up, down, left, right. Start
along
select.
the road.
Yeah.
Yep.
Either way.
The other thing I was kind of curious about is, well, I mean, we need to stay with this because this GT4 traffic is going to be absolutely a nightmare for the GT3s to navigate. And
Christopher Blue.
Crime.
Christopher Blue. Oh no.
Christopher Blue. What do we? Can't we turn another car?
Ethan Hamlet also at the back end of this trying to get through.
Yeah, but Ethan Hamlet is just like I got a 16-second gap. I can just like lift a little bit, let these guys sort themselves out. But yeah, it's again, like I understand the desire to want to just fling it up the inside. Like I get it. It's tough, but at the same time too, it's like you gotta have it. You gotta be there already. Like you gotta be there in a way that makes the guy on the outside back out. Wow, is that Logan Branson?
Yes, that was Logan Branson getting spun.
My goodness.
Let's see what happened here. I'm really curious. Let's see if this tells us enough of a story.
I feel for Logan. Like he just came out of the pits.
Oh no,
Is it Christopher Blue
yes,
again?
Oh no. He just taps him, and then he gets clobbered by Corey Lobner. So it's not just
Corey Lobner's
Blue this time.
Yeah, and then Corey Lobner's front left is absolutely massacred.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Whew.
Again, it's You got to be patient.
Yep.
You got to be patient, guys.
Patience
It's going to be
is
so
key.
tricky.
Corey Lobner did get a meatball flag for that clobbering of his front left.
Oh, 100%. 100%. That thing is
It's not turning.
That thing is not how is he getting through the hairpin with that? That is incredible. This man,
the right tire's fine. This is a white flag, by the way. Hey, 20 minutes of racing has elapsed. Ethan Hamlet starting his last turn around as we've been trying to keep up with everything. Cameron Robertson, Alan Love in a last-minute duel for positions here as well. Jaden, who is that in the background? That was laps down. Let's see if I can figure out who it is.
So much going on right now.
No,
so crazy. Where's Jaden at relative to the lap? Not quite at the halfway mark.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff, guys.
God, no. Oh. Both of them getting into it for this last spot in GLMP3 AM. And Tyler Torville is going to pass the two of them to take home the win in, I believe that's going to be the win in GT3. Let's see if I can...
No, not yet. Not yet.
Oh, sorry. White flag for
Hamilton
GT3.
hasn't passed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't passed yet. He's coming around right now.
Oh, okay. These two.
If you want to switch to Ethan, I think we're going to get him here in a moment.
Yeah, that's him coming down the start-finish stretch. He's just going to get by.
That had to be so hectic. And I think Christopher Blue will get caught up in the finishing order there. And just taking a look right now. So Christopher Blue, so starting from P8 and GT3s, they're going to start start checkering. Taking a look right now. This is craziness as we get ready for cars to come across the line. So Jaden Ledbetter, Luke Patrick is going to manage to sneak home in third after all that chaos.
Oh, this battle. Drag race between Quinn Fenimore and Nathaniel Baker, which Quinn Fenimore loses out by 0.04 of a second. Coming back to this battle. Oh, excuse me. Gian Cardoso getting in head of the GT4 field by the end of racing. This battle, drag race down to the line, half a second between Alan Love finally getting passed by Cameron Robertson to take home 10th and 11th in class.
Tyler Torville getting the win. Gab Chavez is going to come across the line with Kyle Potter in third. Yeah. Tanner Schiffner in fourth. Tommy Kogan in fifth. So again, it's another one of those. Tommy Kogan dropping to fifth after. It was a hectic race all around, and we got car parts flying in the air. Everything is just going to pieces, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully we can collect ourselves, center ourselves, find your inner calm as we get ready to race for 70 minutes around Long Beach with 52 cars.
Let's see here if I can't pull up some heat results. Only 11 seconds ahead by the end of it. Ethan Hamlet wins. Jaden Ledbetter 11 seconds ahead. Luke Patrick finishing a few seconds behind Jaden Ledbetter. Benjamin O'Shea only a second behind Luke Patrick. Michael Lively around to round out that top five, 20 seconds behind the leader. Nathaniel Baker, Quinn Fenimore, Mike Bowen, Gian Cardoso, and Alex Velasco are most of those drivers. I think it's all 10 of our GT or LMP3 Pro drivers. LMP3M is going to have the likes.
So looks like Paul. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Paul Miles. Again, another one of those cars that definitely tagged the wall at least more than once. Garrett Hillman in second with Cameron Robertson in third, Alan Love in fourth, Zachary Minnis in fifth, and Tyler Crowe in sixth. Yeah,
that battle between Cameron Robertson and Alan Love. I don't think that's reached a conclusion yet in terms of our feature race battles to keep an eye on. GT3, our biggest, I think, solo single class of cars. Tyler Torville wins with a 5-second lead to Gab Chavez, who keeps ahead of both Tommy Kogan, who I think had a late race incident there to end him in fifth. Kyle Potter and Tanner Schiffner are going to come home ahead of him in third and fourth, respectively. Andrew Mathias, Stephen McLean, Christopher Blue, Ryan Beauchene, and Robert Lewis going to round out the top 10. Let's see if I can hit the buttons to do stuff. We then also have the likes of Chris Turner in 11th. Mark Coyne, Herbert Pineda, Ryan Nolan, Paul York are only 15 drivers at finish. I would say relatively on the lead lap. Austin Green, Matt Pyle both having issues there, as well as Ian Southern. Let's round out that 18-car grid. That's the other Ace Motorsports driver I was thinking of. Ian Southern is going to be that final driver in the heat. GT4 Pro. Phil?
Yeah, let's take a look. Nick Bowen on top with Scott Fleming, Jake Hewitt, your top three. Tim Mello in fourth. Henry Garcia rounds out the top five. Colin Johnson sixth. Corey Lobner in seventh with Levi Powell in eighth.
And last but certainly not least, GT4 AM. William Lewis going to win 3 seconds ahead of David Schneider. John Newman going to round out that podium. A fantastic result for John Newman. Jonathan Barrett, Sean Sullivan going to round out that top five. Joseph Savage, Sean Harvey, Adrian Marozak, Andrew Seelig, Logan Branson going to be the top 10. Mm-hmm. And I think that's it. So that's all 10 GT4 AM drivers. Okay.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
That was
pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, that was what, 20-ish minutes?
Yeah.
Of racing action?
We're about to do it for 70.
Oh. I think it'll eventually settle down.
I think it will too. But so let's talk heat race stuff or feature race stuff now. So for the folks at home that don't know, we are running 50% fuel capacity caps for all categories racing with us tonight. So pit stop strategy is going to be a big deal, specifically when it comes to pit exit. So again, like I was mentioning before in the pre-show, that control line goes almost to the very start of the entry into turn one. And that's where cars are going to be filtering out. And they're not allowed to actually filter into traffic until they pass that blue control line. Much in the same way, people who are on track racing are not allowed to come across that blue control line to open up the corner to go into the entry into turn one. So it's going to make for a real awkward situation when we start getting into scheduled pit stop territory. What does that mean? I think if we can get people to, try different strategies, try and basically filter out when you're not in an absolute gaggle of cars. I think that's going to be a big deal. People are probably going to be paying a close attention to the track map. And then again, with the pit strategy being such a big deal and these being short laps around here, kind of wondering if we're going to see anybody actually try and pull a two-stopper out of this. But we'll see.
Yeah.
So,
oh man,
we saw a two-stopper strategy really pay off last week.
Yes.
At Sebring. So I think we could see it happening here too. So just keep that in mind.
That's going to be the goal. I think we'll have to see how this race pans out before we get too far into pit cycles. Ethan Hamlet is going to lead off the LMP3 category once again. Jaden Ledbetter alongside him from pretty much how we started with only. Mike Bowen was going to be in between those two, but he'll be at the back end of that class. Luke Patrick, Benjamin O'Shea in row number 2, Michael Lively and Paul Miles in row number 3, Nathaniel Baker and Quinn Fenimore going to be 7th and 8th, as well as the likes of Garrett Hillman, Cameron Robertson in 9th and 10th, Alan Love, Zachary Minnis in 11th and 12th, Mike Bowen, Gian Cardoso, Alex Velasco, and Tyler Crow are going to be all 16 LMP3s, all of which are on the grid. As the grid is starting to get ready to go around, let's get through the GT3s, Phil.
Kyle Potter and Tanner Schiffner are going to lead us off with Tommy Kogan, Andrew Mathias on the second row. We've got, I'm missing a couple of people up at the front of GT3. But anyway, so third row, Tommy Kogan, Andrew Mathias. Then we've got Steve McLean, Christopher Blue, followed by Ryan Duquesne and Robert Lewis are your top 10. I think that might be it. No, we still got more to go.
Yes.
Chris Turner, Mark Coyne, Herbert Pineda Sr., and Ryan Nolan are going to be 11th through 14th, respectively, with Paul York, Mike Bowen, Austin Green, Matt Pyle, and Ian Southern. Although, actually, I think my Mike Bowen is still messed up in my interface, so that was just wrong on my part.
Yes, yeah.
GT4s, sir.
GT4s are going to be the likes of Nick Bowen having a great run there. and Scott Fleming going to be alongside him as well, pretty much how they were. Jake Hewitt, Tim Mello going to be 3rd and 4th. Henry Garcia, Colin Johnson are going to be 5th and 6th. William Lewis is going to lead off GT4 AM. David Schneider, John Newman, Jonathan Barrett, Sean Sullivan, Joseph Savage, Kari Labner, Sean Harvey, Adrian Mauzak, Andrew Seelig, Levi Powell, and Logan Branson are going to be a 52-car grid, all of which are back for this feature race. The pace truck is going to be diving in here in just a second. And Ethan Hamlet is going to be able to take these cars away. Leads off, gets a great launch. Jaden Ledbetter kind of left to fend for himself, but Luke Patrick doesn't get much of a better run. The LMP3s are away. A few of the drivers for LMP3 marred in the back of GT3 traffic, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a dive down to turn number 1. We're going to see all these cars flare out 3 wide as Mike Bowen tries to make a look up the inside. He is able to pick off Alan Love, who is able to keep that car going the right direction. Tyler Torville getting a good launch 3 wide right behind him, though. Gap Chavez, Kyle Potter, and Tanner Schiffner, as well as the likes of Alex Velasco, who gets a black flag, I believe, for considered as jumping the start. Whoa, that's almost going to be a contact as Alex Velasco almost runs into Kyle Potter. Nick Bowen.
Yeah.
Going to launch off GT4.
Yeah, that is not where you want to be, filtering into that GT3 traffic after the fountain section.
Oh, this group a little more composed by the looks of it as they get through turn number 1. Front end a little crunched on Corey Lobner. Not quite sure where that came from. I wonder if that was some pre-race bumpies. Oh, much like that as Adrian Marizak kind of gets checked up and then has to check up Levi Powell, who's right behind. So I think we're going to see some bent fenders in the GT4 field by the end of this race.
Oh, for sure. No question.
LMP3 field fanning out pretty rapidly into pockets of fighting. Ethan Hamlet building up a second gap, which he then pairs down. AJ Ledbetter trying his best to hang on, and Luke Patrick about a second behind him as well. Benjamin O'Shea tailing Luke Patrick. Closest battle on track gonna be the likes of Quinn Fenimore, Nathaniel Baker, Paul Miles. Gonna be the battle there to kind of keep an eye on things. In the background, we have, I believe that's Herbert Pineda, who's coming out on track right in the middle of all these from a pit lane start and issues there, which I think caused him to get crashed early on. Same with, I think, Tyler Crow, who found himself taking a tow early on. I'm trying to see if he was on track still. He does not look like he is. Mark Coyne getting a pretty solid result so far. Battle.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to say we got a little bit of chaos in the GT4 category, but by and large, it looks like we're starting to hit a certain level of calm.
It seems to have leveled out a little bit sooner than we saw in the heat race, though I do think Sean Sullivan fending off most of the GT4 field at the moment. Who did my IR sidekick? My iRacing. Did my trading paints not load correctly for Sean Sullivan? Nope, that is what it says it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Great.
I think that's the livery. Yeah.
Awesome. I wanted to hang out. Do I have a good on board with him? Oh, wow. Big checkup from William Lewis to not run into the back there, and that's going to give Jonathan Barrett a run going out of Seaside and into the Firestone corner. Oh, this could be big. Jonathan Barrett, the lunge at the last second gets that car clear of the nose of William Lewis. Oh, all right. Taking a Cameron Robertson also getting ahead of Garrett Hillman.
The battles. I'm just looking at the data on track right now, and while it does feel like the field is starting to stretch out a little bit. Oh, that's in the wall on the exit of Firestone. Yeah. He's still going. I don't see a meatball flag for him, so he might have a little bit of damage, but this is definitely starting to gum up the works. I was just going to say, the field is stretched out a little bit, but the thing that we're seeing here that's different between the LMP3 field relative to the rest of the other ones is we're still seeing pockets of close fighting in LMP3 where the field really leveled out pretty quickly. That's not the case right now.
No, it is not the case here. Mike Bowen also up on to the tail end of this battle, making it a three-way fight as he works his way back up the order. And is now bringing the fight to these two other LMP3 Pro drivers. Going to get alongside Quinn Fenimore. Quinn Fenimore going to have a defensive line going into this one. Nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. That'll work. So that you get the feel for, in these onboards, how bumpy this track is, and especially with these prototypes who have just the slimmest amount of suspension. You really feel every part of this track in the car as you try to get it around the circuit. And something you got to be careful of, because the force feedback will take you for a ride if you let it. Oh, has to check up to avoid a accident there. Yeah, let's take a look back here just a second. I'm gonna see if I can figure out what happened here. Track position, track position, track position. All sorts of bottled up. Oh, yep, that's what happened there. All three of those drivers stopped. This was a car that lost a front bumper amongst all that. All right. Garrett Hillman going to jump to the pits. Oh, Mike Bowen clobbers the wall as I'm looking at that.
That's unfortunate.
Keeps it out of the way.
He is going to be able to get it back on track.
It's not a meatball yet. Not quite sure how, because that looked very hard on the left rear. Oh, multi-class traffic coming into play. Luke Patrick getting up behind Jaden Ledbetter, who's forcing it too wide into the hairpin, trying to get the job done, keep a little space between him and Luke Patrick, as well as Benjamin O'Shea. And that's going to take Adrian Marzak out and create a huge pileup in the back of this as these cars all get bottled up. Oh, and that's just going to keep causing problems. Adrian Marzak trying to get that car out of the way. All these cars coming into the scene and having to take evasive action.
That actually cleared up way faster than I thought it would.
It's still working. Tyler Torville getting caught up in all that, and that's going to give Gabe Chavez a good run as Tyler Torville has to dive in, or is choosing to dive in. I'm not quite sure if that was a choice or a force. Alan Love getting a meatball flag amongst all that as well.
Yeah, that is going to be, again, we're still dealing with the whole, like getting through the surviving part of this race.
Mm-hmm.
The field is really starting to stretch out again. We still got pockets of LMP3 and GT3s duking it out. GT4 is actually starting to stretch out a lot.
Yeah.
I'm really wondering how many people are going to exit the race with going into the pits this early. But the main thing I would say here is that it's probably beneficial, if you can, to stay in the car and keep trying to maximize your positions. It's a 70-minute race, and it's very chaotic. There's going to be potentially a lot of people that drop out. You could potentially make up some points quite easily. And with 3 drop rounds, you never know when you might need a strong 4th race.
Yeah. You might never know when you might need it. Might just, consistency and sticking in it, especially in races like these, can net you so many good points. Kind of keeping an eye on this battle that is still within a second and a half of each other. Running along with Benjamin O'Shea, who's at the back of these 3 LMP3s, all battling for the bottom 2 spots on the podium.
And at what point is that Jaden Ledbetter in the front of this pack here?
Yes, Jaden Ledbetter in the front of this pack, Luke Patrick in the middle.
And we made it through the corner with no crimes, so good on us.
We did indeed. I have a battle box. Let's do it. Right? Maybe? Does this?
Yeah. Battle box is good.
Well.
Oh, that touch on the wall on the inside from Luke Patrick.
You can see that left rear.
I don't see any meatball indicators. Oh, he's showing him the nose, and that's going to give. So Ben's got. Okay, he backs out of it. You can see the LMP3s hop the curb on the inside of IndyCar.
Yeah.
And here goes Jaden. Is he going to try and fling it up the inside into the hairpin?
Mellow Yellow.
He thought about it.
Tim Mello. He did. And that's not really giving him any benefit of time as Luke Patrick's still crawling down the interval. You can see it there on the timing tower. We continue to ride on board with these drivers. The Benjamin O'Shea getting a great run here. I think that damage is costing Luke Patrick a little bit of time as they go too wide into turn number 1. See who's latest on the brakes. Both brake. Luke Patrick ekes out a win there. Oh, Benjamin O'Shea doesn't get the brakes done in time. Loses
into
out.
The fountain. Into the fountain. I don't think he hit the fountain that hard. So I think he's gonna. That car's still gonna be drivable. We're gonna find out here in a minute.
Looks like
we
it's
got a huge crash. Ryan Beauchesne, Austin Green, Andrew Seelig, Ryan Nolan.
Oh,
something big has just happened.
Let's see here.
Looks like there's a Benjamin O'Shea off track that precedes this.
Yeah, looks like it's almost 2 different areas. We'll see here. It's the hairpin once again. No, it's a slow run through the hairpin. Following with Austin Green, all these cars getting bottled up. Let's find out. See, I'm going to stop to the top of this. Stephen McLean at the front end of these group of cars. Let's see here. Oh, too wide through the hairpin. See what chaos befalls. No real chaos. I think just everybody braked.
Yeah, no, I think everybody put on the brakes like very cautiously, like they did what they needed to do. But that was definitely a crazy moment that actually didn't end out being that bad, which is good. Again, glad that everybody's out there staying frosty.
Yeah, Stephen McLean, I think getting a bit of a spin further on in the lap, which has seen him fall back to, oh, that's a spun. William Lewis kind of stranded by himself.
That is going to be so tough to turn around. He's just slowly going to creep it around. And he's going to get going. Yeah, he did it. Patience. He didn't check out. He could have jumped to the pits. He could have punched out, but he just waited for the moment. Chris Turner in the action here. I believe that's Mark Coyne in the background with Austin Green, Matt Pyle, chasing down the number 9.
Yep.
Mustang of Chris Turner.
That is in fact the case. See my ride on board. Got a roof. That Mercedes AMG GT3. One of my personal favorites of the GT3 category, but I think it's the one I've driven the longest. Tyler Torville jumps. Oh, it's come out back. I'm looking at Michael Lively, who is in the wall and then in the pit wall. Let's see what happened here. This is going to be turn number 1, or the precursor to it. He's currently in 4th, inheriting that from Benjamin O'Shea. And I wonder if he clobbers that inside. Locks up the brakes, clobbers that, and just immediately tows that car to keep it out of harm's way and keep anyone else from crashing. So
understeer in these cars is so unreal. "12 minutes, man. We are 13 minutes. Excuse me, 13 minutes now into this race. We are a good
Tanner Schiffner.
Anywhere from 12 to 17 minutes from the first scheduled pit stop.
Man, it is going to be a long 17 minutes as these drivers try to find their way through. Oh, Brad Chavez makes a big hit into the wall, which is going to give Tanner Schiffner the lead of GT3 as a result. As they try to raid around the likes of John Newman, you can start to see, I think this battle, the battle box, I think will be very helpful for us keeping on track of who's who on the course on this lap, or on this Long Beach specifically. I'm going to leave it as it is for right now. Actually,
John Newman's witness protection money pays off. We got Logan Branson, Alex Velasco, and Steve McLean involved in a crash. Could just be contact.
Could be.
Although I am starting to see some cars.
All right, once again, too wide into the hairpin once again. Nope, I think we all just checked up. We all got through it okay.
Yep.
Oh, fantastic. Good stuff. Great. You'll love.
It's going to be crazy.
It's going
to be crazy. It's going to be a long one, folks. Hang on. Buckle in. I hope you have a beverage and a comfy chair.
Yeah, taking a look back, Benjamin O'Shea now kind of gotten up to the tail end of Nathaniel Baker from where he had that moment in the fountain to try to make up the time between himself and his duel for the podium spots. Came to an abrupt end. Paul. Oh.
That's so close to the wall.
Yeah, I thought I heard the crunch of like the game thinking that there was in contact, or the simulator, I guess, thinking there may have been contact. Just up the road as well from those two, Luke Patrick, Jaden Ledbetter also still in a heated fight over P2. Meanwhile, Ethan Hamlet, 8-9 seconds up the road at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, Ethan is going to skate while Jaden is being preoccupied with his battle with Luke Patrick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, in this battle for the lead, I'm kind of flip-flopping between a few different battles that are on track. Tanner Schiffner getting the lead there from Gab Chavez, and Kyle Potter going to capitalize on this trade of hands, try to keep up. Tim Mello in that GT4 car trying to not get run into amongst all of these as we have this battle, especially this battle between Gab Chavez, who's a little bit wounded here as a result of that big smack against this wall on the exit C side, I think last lap or the lap before. It's going to cost him a little bit of that straight line speed. Oh, man, Benjamin O'Shea getting the fastest lap of the feature race as he continues to try to pile on the pressure to Nathaniel Baker. Cap Chavez forcing Adrian Marizak out wide. Adrian Marizak going to make it so that way Kyle Potter has to come in. And we, I believe, have a raid. Am I reading this right?
Well, now. You did.
Fantastic stuff. We've been
Design AMK1. Thank you so much. Wait a minute. 254 people coming from.
Thank you all.
Wait a minute. Quirketize rated us?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks for joining us.
Yes. Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Trying to keep an eye on all the battles and stuff on track. So forgive us for
being
a little
not seeing that.
Yeah. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Welcome to Track Limits Racing. For those of you who don't know,
you're watching a very chaotic race right now.
Yeah.
Very chaotic. We started this with 52 cars. Multi-class racing, LMP3s, GT3s, GT4s at Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
It's been an absolute show. And my colleague Finicini has been calling this race quite well.
Oh, don't you flatter. You've also been giving all the good statistics on why this stuff matters. I think far more than just my ability to keep up with where these cars are and who's made what passes on what cars. But
we should talk about some races that do matter right now, because we've still got some close action on track. Mike Bowen right now sandwiched in with this battle with Paul Miles, I believe. So these two are not racing in the same class right now. So the difference between LMP3 AM, LMP3 Pro, they are scored together. So Mike Bowen would really love to get around Paul Miles right now. But we're going to see. Paul Miles is not really like run away from a fight in LMP3 yet. So it's going to be, I think, pretty dicey all the way to the end here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what do you think? So we're 18 minutes in. We're still probably anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes from the first round of pit stops. And that's if we start to see some people try to actually do the overcut.
Yeah, I think we got the
what are you feeling?
I get the feeling whenever I think we're gonna have a lot more spread out multi-class style pit stops here. I get the feeling, especially as you kind of see these bunches of cars, GT3 field still really bunched up. So if you get a good opportunity in the LMP3 class or the GT4 class, you see that that set of relatives all looming in the background. As I think that was the likes of, I want to say that was oh man.
Ooh,
blanking on me.
We got a crash. I think we just got a big
Joseph
crash.
Savage.
Joseph Savage, Zachary Minnis, and I think Joseph Savage jumps to the pits.
Let's see what happened to Joseph Savage.
What happened there?
Yeah. Also want to take a look back and see what happened to Nathaniel Baker. He got a meatball flag amongst us talking about the race as a whole. This is what I saw at the back that I was really worried about. He had pulled off here. I think he just comes to a stop because he doesn't have a good opportunity to kind of make this rotation. I think he just toes from there. So what I want to talk about Nathaniel Baker diving into the pit lane here. You see him coming out right now. He had a moment earlier that cost him a meatball flag, and I'm trying to figure out where that was. It was the same spot we saw Benjamin O'Shea repass him for P4. And this is that pass at least. And I think it comes from a oh, you can see that car get loose under the braking, and that's what it was. You saw it right there. Let me give it another
Just stuffs it.
quick look here.
Yeah, it was crazy. Just again, like braking in these LMP3 cars, especially going into turn 1. These high braking zones for the LMP3s really a struggle bus for them.
Yeah.
Back to some more action on track right now. So Jaden Ledbetter, Luke Patrick still going at it, hitting some. Oh no, Logan Branson.
Oh boy, Logan Branson gonna get through it okay. He's had some issues earlier.
Yeah, he is gonna get through it. Yep.
Sticks out of the way, and that's gonna make Jaden has to go defensive. Luke Patrick getting a line and a run, but now he's going to have to back out of it and go for the over-under. This battle, by the way, between these two, costing them about a second a lap to Benjamin O'Shea, who has once again found himself within that second margin after that incident in the fountain a few laps prior.
Yeah, good solid fighting from Benjamin O'Shea to catch back up to these guys. Benjamin O'Shea got some really good pace around here.
Absolutely.
And with the fight going on right now, it's just pulling him back into this battle for the top two podium, or for P2, P3, and LMP3 right now. We have a spun car on the exit of the hairpin. Is that Henry Garcia?
That was Henry Garcia.
He's going to take it to the pits.
I'm super curious what happened there. Let's see if I can get a quick look at that.
Yeah, it's that's crazy. He was spun all the way around. I wonder if that was another one of those instances of like a bad exit coming out of the hairpin.
I think multi-class traffic has a voice in this one. Applies the power. Oh, gets bumped into by Adrian Marizak, and that's going to cause him to be spun.
Yeah.
So a bit of a heartbreaker there.
Unfortunate. But again, traffic is brutal around here.
It is indeed. I would say it giveth and it taketh.
Can we take a look, sir, at this GT3 battle going on? Let's jump down to I believe that is Andrew Mathias right now. Tommy Cogan in the background. Christopher Blue's not far off, and then we got Sean McLean, or Steve McLean, and then I think Ryan Buchanan's a little bit further.
Yeah,
back
he's about 3 seconds
right now. He's like 3 seconds back.
Yep. We'll give it on board because I haven't done one in about 3 seconds, and I love keeping an idea of how stressful managing all this traffic is for these drivers, especially for Stephen McLean. Has to get around William Lewis, who's right in front of him in that McLaren GT4, and it is a very busy track.
Yeah, it's very tricky right now. It is pretty crazy. It looks like there might have been a bad exit from William Lewis. Might have stuffed it in the wall. They gave Stephen McLean an opportunity. Christopher Blue now chasing down Tommy Cogan in the 55 Lamborghini. Andrew Mathias not too far ahead, and we're talking points for P4, P5, P6 on offer here. So definitely some good points.
Yeah, some
I
great.
should probably put the Discord in chat for all the people that are joining us from Quirkatize from his channel. Quirk he's a good dude. I love watching his streams. And thank you all so much for joining us. If you're interested at all in being a part of the action, check us out in Discord. Track Limits Racing Sports Car Series. This is our first season of 2026, and we got more action coming up later in the season. Let's see. I'm going to pull up the calendar while we're watching this battle.
Yeah, while you do that, I'm going to keep a quick eye on a couple other battles as well. We've been following along with these three drivers. I want to say, doesn't hurt to check back in on this battle for P2 and P3 and LMP3. GT4, just as a marker for us, it's no battle within a second in that class, and I cannot imagine that is... It's not, sorry, I can't say that is not surprising to me given the nature of this track, the battles in the other classes, trying to not get run over as a GT4 driver, trying to survive, kind of very willing to allow yourself the ability just to give a little bit of time here and there to not get bumped into by one of these faster classes. Oh, Luke Patrick has a slow exit there. He's a little bit afraid of that corner after he bottled it in practice early on. And in the qualifying run, safer line there. Benjamin O'Shea has a good run here. Not quite enough to get alongside. Both are going to get by Jake Hewitt, who's at the third in GT4 Pro.
Real quick, definitely wanted to call out a bit of a shocker right now. If you take a look at Tyler Torville right now, the highest point scorer so far in the season is currently pretty far down after getting tagged early on. Taking the pit stop lap 5. Maybe he's going to try an alternate strategy here. I think that's really possible with the 50% limit on fuel capacity around here in a 70-minute race. So we're going to see if Tyler can salvage something in the points here. But this is currently our highest point scorer so far in the season.
Yeah, taking a look at a couple other cars. And he's at the back at the tail end of the race, surrounded kind of by his teammates. You know, he has Herbert Pineda behind him, who's a lap behind all of these drivers. And then between him and his other teammate, Ian Southern, you have Paul York, who's been still getting his sea legs in GT3 this season. Had a fantastic run in GT4 the previous season, 2025 season number 3. And I got to say, still exciting action happening in most of these classes. I think the better conversation to have for GT4 drivers at this point is the fuel strategy, the game they play, minimizing those mistakes for a lot of these drivers as GT3s and LMP3s begin to mix once again. That battle for P2 now being involving the cars we just saw as we were taking a look at Tyler Torville and Sean Sullivan amongst all this. Oh, big old spin out of Tyler Torville, and that's going to bottle up all of these cars in the battle for P2 in LMP3. All of them get it sorted pretty quickly, but that's going to stop so many cars as we look further back.
And this is the part where the survival part element is going to be key here. Again, it's like, you guys are racing like, this isn't 70 minutes and going in the hairpin with that much traffic. I mean, it's just not going to work. Like that math don't math.
It does not math at all. Tyler Torville trying to sort this out now and having to deal with the multi-class traffic of LMP3s, which the pace difference, for those that are new to this kind of style of racing, not too different, especially at a track like this. Fast laps out of these LMP3s at a 116 usually per lap, 117s with this traffic. For GT3s, it's 118 for a fast lap, 119 usually with the traffic and losing a second or two there. So really only these long straights where the acceleration of the LMP3s is actually faster than the lap time for the GT3s. So it's definitely a unique beast of our league here at Track Limits.
Yeah, the LMP3s and GT3s can kind of get into some weird mix-ups, but the managing the traffic around the GT4s is just so challenging at some of these circuits, especially when you get tight portions like the hairpin here at Long Beach. We ran into similar sorts of scenarios with the middle sectors at Sebring last week, and I mean, who knows? We may be talking in 2 weeks' time, Finn, and we may be doing 50-plus cars at Laguna Seca.
I get the feeling
that's
we will
what's
be
coming up next.
Yeah. With the way this grid is, the way the grid was for round 1 at Daytona, as well as Sebring, which I think we had 40-something cars on that grid, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Like,
almost 50.
What'd you have? Sorry.
No, we had almost 50. Yeah, you're right. It was a lot.
It's going to be a busy grid. And the thing I really am excited about is that the grid is a little bit, there's a little more room at Laguna Seca, which one of the things I like about it. It's a little bit of a longer track. Not terribly, but a little bit of a longer track. So it's not as compact as this is for the positions here. Speaking...
Oh, yeah. It doesn't have walls like Long Beach, but it has the corkscrew, my dude.
Yes.
So it is going to be wild when we get LMP3s and GT4s mixing in the corkscrew. That is going to be absolutely wild.
Oh, yeah. That is going to be a fun one. A very, very busy one at that as well.
So Chris Turner currently in front of, I believe that is Matt Pyle. And then we got Paul Miles in the background, Mr. Milo the First on Twitch TV. If you want to go check out his stream right now and get the onboard.
Yeah.
Just taking a look at more of the data. And right now we're starting to see the field really what are we looking for the term? The GT4 field in particular has stretched. It's stretched pretty far right now. I would say we probably got about 3 cars that have, or excuse me, 4 cars that have dropped from the race out of the 52 that we started with. So we still got 48 cars on track. As we get close to the first stint, again, with the 50% fuel capacity and the kind of traffic management you have to do around here, I bet there's an opportunity for a little bit of fuel saving. I'm really looking forward to see if people are going to try and pull a 2-stop route.
I get a feeling it's very possible. I know we saw some similar stuff in the last time we were out here a few seasons ago at this point, out of Ethan Hamlet back when he was also in GT or LMP3 like he is now, as well as the likes of Vincent LaRue, who I think I saw in chat earlier tonight. He's not with us this season as a result of scheduling conflicts, but a very rapid driver nonetheless, and one that I think is missing this season dearly by the sounds of it. So
taking a look at some early pits that are coming
John
in.
Newman.
I think Robert Lewis is just going to go ahead and take the stop now. He was on the jacks for 20 seconds, and he's proceeding out now. Jake Hewitt going in as well at lap 24. So looks like the 30-minute mark might be what people are taking for the early stoppers. But we're going to see how far the people that are aiming for the overcut, what they're going to be aiming for.
I'm curious if there's not a one-stop strategy going on here. You know, with only 70 minutes of racing, we're 4 minutes away from the halfway mark. If we can, if they can make that successfully, we might get a wall. Luke Patrick really getting that car a little bit into the air. I wonder if we get the one-stop strategy going here for a couple of these drivers.
Yeah, I think like the 2 with like a maybe like a deeper first stint could be the answer with like a really light splash at the end. But at the same time, who knows? If you got somebody like Mark Coyne out here, the hardest working man in sim racing, he may be fuel saving his butt off right now with the hopes of getting a one-stopper pulled off. I mean, all he's got to do is get to that. I'd say probably he needs to be a little bit further along than 35 minutes. And that's the part that's I think a trick around here is you really got to push deep on this 50% fuel.
Ian Southern
to try and pull that off. But if anybody's going to try and pull it off, it's probably going to be Mark Coyne. Oh, that is a missing front end.
Yeah, Herbert Pineda having an issue there. Ian Southern also getting into the pits after having that car spun on the exit of turn. I believe that's number 4, the second of the 2 90-degree right-handers in the first sector here. These guys coming through the Firestone corner. This is going to be a battle for 7th in class. A little ways back, we have Tommy Kogan also fighting it out, I think, with Alex Velasco. A lot of the GT3 field, much similar to the GT4 field, in that it's getting pretty spread out as well.
Yeah, there goes Austin Green into the pits, and Jaden Ledbetter, Luke Patrick, a battle for P2 and LMP3, catching up to this battle in GT3. Andrew Mathias and Chris Turner going to push a little bit deeper.
Yeah, 2 minutes away from the halfway point, so it's, again, possible that they make this a one-stop. I think that's maybe the goal out of a lot of these drivers. Ethan Hamlet still has yet to come in also out of the top, I would say top 4 from GT or LMP3 Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jaden is just having a real problem here trying to get around Matt Pyle.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of difference in pace. I don't think it's one you can make it very easily unless you get a good run. Like you said, get a good run on these straights is the best place to do it. And Luke Patrick knows that. So Luke Patrick is not trying to push anything too seriously, but he is going to try to see if he can get a run here and make the look. But he's going to have to kind of tuck in behind Jaden Ledbetter once again. As these three.
Matt Pyle playing it safe.
Yeah.
Letting the LMP3 traffic through. And we got a gaggle of cars going in the pits right now. I believe that would be Chris Turner going in, Chris Blue. I believe that is Steve McLean going in to the pits. They're still on the jacks. So a lot of the GT3 runners coming in the pits right now. Taking a peek, I still haven't seen the top 5 in LMP3 pull the trigger yet.
Yeah,
I want to give a shout out to Design AMK1. Thank you for the follow.
Yes, thank you. And then JGS Speed, just want to say I'm so sorry. I might need a little more context. I'm not quite sure. Oh, John Newman spinning on his own amongst those
Barrett.
two. Oh, gotcha.
Unfortunate.
Oh, no. So sorry.
And Jonathan Barrett, right. Not in the race with us. That's okay, man.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll get you back for Laguna.
Hmm. And the plaid came in. Yes, John. We got you. Got a black flag for Cameron Robertson. Tim Mello also coming in out of the lead of GT4 Pro to get his pit stop done. Same goes for Colin Johnson, who finds himself in second. Both those drivers in after just at the 35-minute mark. It's going to be interesting to see if they can pull off a one-stop. Jaden Ledbetter, Luke Patrick also diving in at that 35-minute mark. I think it's going to be, they're going to try for the one-stop.
I mean, they're really taking a gamble here on the one stop with the bonus lap potential. Tommy Cogan, however, pushing deep. One more lap. So Tommy Cogan, I think could pull it off. I think Tommy Cogan is without a doubt, in my mind right now, the driver right now that has the highest potential of pulling this off. Ethan Hamlet could also pull it off. But I think he's also been fuel saving. He's been leveraging that 11-second gap to Jaden Ledbetter and probably just been fuel saving this whole time. So
certainly,
I think it's definitely possible for the one stop for them.
I think it will be. I think it'll be a very interesting and busy, back half of this race, sorting out where everybody sits after the pit cycles. Benjamin O'Shea, I think, is going to find himself back out. He has jumped both Jaden Ledbetter and Luke Patrick in the pit cycle as a result of that early pit. Problem is, he will have to come down.
The early pit,
come down again, unlike those two.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He will have to. Well, I mean, unless they need the splash and dash. So that's the thing. I like how close with them being at that 35-minute mark, because they were both on pit road for about a minute. So they've got probably I'd say 36, 37, the 36, 37 minute mark, and then kind of hoping. I'm betting they probably went to full tank. So we'll see how it plays out. That said,
3 wide.
I did want to talk about early pit stop runners relative to just traffic, right? Because Benjamin O'Shea did go into the pits early, but the real thing that set Benjamin O'Shea apart is he made up so much time after the pit cycle. So first off, he shaved off, I want to say about a second and a half on the pit stop relative to Jaden Ledbetter, Luke Patrick, who went in at the same time, and then managed to just jump them in the pits. Another person who made a huge jump in the pits. We got Robert Lewis right now. He managed to jump Austin Green and Chris Turner and Matt Pyle in the pit cycle. So, it's just working out right now for people that can pull off the pit stop.
Yeah, it's really interesting that Robert Lewis was able to pass Austin Green in the pit cycle, given the 6-second gap in Austin Green's favor in the pit cycle.
Yeah.
So that's wild to me.
I think it was down to traffic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think it's just purely down to traffic.
Yeah, Benjamin O'Shea trying to see
guess
what gap he can continue to build between himself and Jaden Ledbetter. Ethan Hamlet got to come in from the lead to take his pit stop.
Yeah, I think he's safe to the end.
Yeah.
At this phase, he's got to be safe. I mean, we're talking 38, almost 39 minutes when he comes out of the pits.
Ryan Beauchesne, as well as Chris Turner, going to be duking it out for 8th in class at the end of this. 9th in class. Robert Lewis and Austin Green in a fight for 8th in class just up the road. Benjamin O'Shea getting around those two drivers.
Yeah.
And Benjamin O'Shea, I think, gets that gap down to about 6 seconds between himself and Ethan Hamlet.
So we've gone up to 7 retirements in this race so far. So So still 45 drivers out on track, past the 39-minute mark. So going to try and harvest as many points as possible. For the folks that don't know, the LMP3 and GT4 classes both have a Pro and AM category. They are scored together. So if LMP3 AM can really get a number of spaces relative to an LMP3 Pro runner, that could create quite a buffer in the standings. GT3, it's just single class, so they're going to be scored together as well. But yeah, there's definitely an opportunity with the amount of chaos that we're seeing to harvest some really good points. And we got Tyler Torville coming in for his pit stop, and he is going to cycle all the way down. I think. Waiting to see who he comes out behind. He's still in the box. He might cycle out. I could imagine him cycling out maybe around the Mark Coyne area.
I think he's going to come out right behind, almost in between Matt Pyle and Mark Coyne. I think is where he might end up based on the fact that he's on his out parks right now. That or just behind Mark Coyne.
Just behind Mark Coyne. So yeah, Tyler Torville trying to recover as many points as possible, and he's already cleared 4 GT3 drivers after the lap 5 shenanigans that he got caught up in. So he's definitely maximizing his points as best he can, trying to turn lemons into lemonade. Austin Green has marked his crash. I wonder what happened there.
Ooh.
Looks like he's still moving. I think he's okay.
Oh, almost runs into most of those cars. I think he just got a little bit loose on that. That's a bad place to be. You can see all these cars rolling by. You can see them on the relative there as they go past. Just no real room.
Yep, that is definitely going to catch him.
To move that car.
That is unfortunate.
Take a look back here.
I just wanted to remind... Oh, go ahead.
See what happened. Multi-class traffic of Luke Patrick and Jaden Ledbetter. And I think he just had an accordion effect trying to not run into Jaden Ledbetter. Gets run into by Luke Patrick, and that causes the spin. And then he's trying to get himself around and gets spun.
Unfortunate. And see, the thing is that's going to compromise the race between Luke Patrick and Jaden Ledbetter. Again, he wasn't nothing intentional there, just an accordion effect going into that corner. I think with that tag, I think Jaden's going to have some rear splitter damage, and Luke Patrick might have some damage to his left side because he did get T-boned a little bit.
What did you want to remind folks of before I jumped into that?
Just going to remind everybody that you're going to see us again February 28th for round number 4, another 70-minute feature race at Laguna Seca. And then we've got March 14th at Belle Isle. If we have this many cars at Belle Isle, this is going to be wild.
I mean,
it's going to be absolutely wild.
I'm surprised we have 52, or we had 52 to start. At this point, I think Mark Coyne playing the safe route there. No, Mark Coyne playing the safe route there, allowing the likes of Zachary Minnis to get around so that way he can kind of focus on his own race, not worry about that multi-class traffic. So it is technically for overall positions, not in-class positions, however, so it's not a battle that Mark Coyne, I think, was really looking to fight with any seriousness.
Yeah, so with Mark Coyne right now, 1.4 back, you see Paul Miles still in the lead of LMP3 AM. Hefty lead.
That's a spin.
Hefty lead.
Oh, Mark Coyne going to lose the rear.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Wing on that incident. There's an incident just up the road that involved Garrett Hillman just before, as well as Tim Mello. So let's take a look at that, and then we'll jump over to Mark Coyne amongst that. Both
coming
these
out of the pits.
Oh, and the chaos that is unfolding right around them. Both of them trying to get through without issue, and then he bumps into Tim Mello, and then that's where we have that spin and that crash from Mark Coyne. And I think he'll tow it from there to keep that car out of problem.
Unfortunate.
And harm's way. Has a fast repair though, so I think he still has a shot. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, Michael Lively getting a great run out of Seaside, but didn't have to check up as much as Gian Cardoso did. He's going to lean on that door, force it too wide through the Firestone. They can do it, but it's a slow way through. Corey Lobner right ahead of them, trying to figure out how to not get caught up in this. And there's a whole heck of cars going around just up the road. And a towed John Newman, as there are, say, Matt Pyle, cars. Chris Turner, Ryan Beauchene,
I think,
amongst them. Ryan Nolan as well.
Yeah, that just went.
Oh, boy.
So south, so fast. Wow, the number of names that lit up.
I'm going to dive into, let's see, John Newman to start. And then I will hit some buttons from there to figure out what the heck actually happened here. Going into this one, big old spin. Nathaniel Baker getting Matt Pyle, Chris Turner, Matt Pyle getting spun in the process. And then there's the incident there. Tim Mello working his way around. Gian Cardoso going to lose out that position. Amongst those, Alan Love and
craziness.
More.
So much craziness.
That hairpin,
oh my goodness,
has been the collector of cars and races. Taken so many names as a result of just small minor miscommunications and errors about who's going where and at what speed, and the accordion effect so strong,
so tricky. Yeah.
So
yeah. And it's just another one of those things where it's like when the cars are bunched up that tight going into the hairpin, you got to be ready to try and put your car in the best position to dodge the chaos. All you can do.
Mm-hmm.
All you can do. This is crazy. I could definitely see this. I could definitely see this race having a few of the iRacing weekly clips. I think we could see us in a couple spots. I'm just saying it has been a bit spicy.
Jaden Ledbetter getting around Benjamin O'Shea, as well as Benjamin O'Shea having a crash. This involves Alex Velasco, who's at 777 LMP3 right ahead. I wonder if there's not an error there somewhere. Oh, it's going to be him trying to make sure he doesn't run into Alex Velasco after a slow run. And then he's just going to have to try to baby that car to not get it into the wall. And that's where Jaden will get on by. Luke Patrick having his own incident as well just before that. That's one of the cars I think caught up in that giant pile up we had. And that sees...
Yeah.
Whoa. Multi-class traffic everywhere on this track at this point. You can see the busyness that is happening there. And I think we have another car, Zachary Minnis, in the pit lane. Oh, boy. I think we have another hairpin
I think a number of cars are going to be diving in early for repairs.
Yeah. Oh, really late on the brakes allows Luke Patrick through, Garrett Hillman there, Ryan Beauchene, and tries to get around. I think he just dives in, but it's just a slow run for all of these cars. Thankfully, not another incident in the pit lane or in the hairpin. Luke Patrick closing down the gap to Paul Miles. Okay.
Yeah, trying to recover as many spots as he can right now. Benjamin O'Shea is like really in there, except for now he's really in the tire barrier, but manages to save it.
Yep. Keeps it out, thankfully.
So he's going to have to unlock that pace and try and catch back up Jaden Ledbetter. He's got the pace relative to Jaden. Pretty consistent.
I'd say he was able to
pretty consistent.
Climb that, get that gap down twice now. See if he can do it a third time. Just being a little bit faster. Just having the moment of being on the outside in the hairpin. Like you said, you can never really go too wide in the hairpin. And I think he's learning that, unfortunately, the hard way. How few lines you can go around this track.
Yeah, it's so crazy. It's such a tight track. And the thing is that I got to say, hats off to everybody who's participating in this race. It is a hard one. It is absolutely a hard one. But hats off to everyone involved and making a really good show. We got Matt Pyle right now, so he managed to sneak out of that whole endeavor, and it looks like he's still ahead of both Chris Turner and Austin Green. But Paul York has entered this battle now, and the big winner out of that, would you believe it was Tyler Torville?
Yes, I
Tyler
would.
Torville managed to salvage a lot of spaces or a lot of places to get back up now. I believe he's going to be in 7th in GT3, and another car that made out was Ryan Buchanan, who actually took the 8th place position
Yeah,
in the 64.
Yeah, Ryan Buchanan or Beauchesne, excuse me.
Or Beauchesne, yeah.
We've been corrected on that, and we're trying our best.
Well, we've been saying it wrong for 2 seasons, so it's going to take a little bit of adjustment. But at the same time, Ryan Beauchesne, we hear you, sir.
We hear you. Oh my gosh, Paul York really landed on the brakes there, trying to get around. I believe that was Dave Schneider in that Mercedes GT4. I need to be on this one.
But everybody's still going.
We're all going. Alan Love in the middle of this is, I think, part of why we have the slower pace we do, as well as lap traffic of another GT3 AM driver.
Luke Patrick is all over Paul Miles right now.
All right, well, let's take a look at that.
And they just keep jockeying through the traffic as best they can.
Mm-hmm.
And you're seeing them kind of like spread out. That gap is starting to expand and contract on the regular. But Luke Patrick is not letting Paul Miles just drive off.
I mean, I would have to imagine the pace there. Paul Miles getting his personal best lap, same as Luke Patrick, who is 0.2 faster.
Yeah.
And between them and Benjamin O'Shea is currently a 27-second gap. This is our biggest gap in LMP3 at this point.
Yep.
Ooh,
yep.
Paul Miles jumping
Pretty
in.
big. And Paul Miles diving in early. Again, that's kind of what I'm kind of curious about. Like, one, does he have damage? Or two, is he understanding that, I'm not really going to make it to the end, so I might as well go ahead and stop now, get the splash and dash done. And, Tanner Schiffner getting spun, that is not what he's going to want to see. That's definitely going to bring him down the order. Paul Miles in the box now. Let's see if we can count the number of seconds he's going to be there. Yep, fast stop, 11 seconds. Had to pull the trigger. So again, I'm really kind of curious how many people thought they were going to be able to just pull the one stop. I think you really had to go deep past the 35-minute mark to pull it off. Moist Cigarette in chat saying, watching this, I'm so glad I'm missing this week. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, we do have 3 drop rounds. I am thinking that a lot of these drivers are sticking with it because you never know when you're what would that be? You're like one race beyond your drop round when it might end up being the Long Beach round. You never know. So it's going to be interesting. There are people that are definitely taking advantage of the chaos. I mean, let's talk about finishing orders as they stand right now, especially in GT3. Gab Chavez is on top with Kyle Potter, Tommy Kogan, Christopher Blue, and Stephen McLean, top 5. Where is Tyler Torville? He's down in 7th right now. Tanner Schiffner is off the map entirely. He's down there. I think him and Andrew Mathias pretty far down the order right now. So there's some good points finishers right now that are having an absolutely torrid race. Benjamin O'Shea is caught back up to Jaden Ledbetter.
Yeah, once again, Jack Wilkins up late last night for another league. Also, I don't own Long Beach. Valid. I think as someone who is a Long Beach enjoyer, I would say you're missing out because I love street racing. It's such a fun mix of, especially like when you take cars like this on closed circuits, but it's street. You don't get the nice even paved road. You have to work with the road as much as with the car, as with the, it's like Bathurst or Nordschleife. You have no room for error to go, above the limit. You have to work within it, and it really forces that. And much like it's forcing Jaden Ledbetter to try to find a way around Tommy Kogan as well as Sean Sullivan, it's a very busy track. You can see all the markers on there of the 52 starters we have. I think we still have something like 45. Corey Lobner's on there.
Yeah, I think
45.
I think 45. I think we still got 45 running right now. So still a huge number, as you can see from the track map.
Yeah.
Still pretty crazy. Going into
Lively.
Michael Lively,
So close.
locking
Good
up.
catch.
And I believe that was Tyler Torville was just like, I'm just gonna let you do your thing, man. You're gonna lock up the brakes on your skateboard, like that's fine.
Tommy Kogan.
Tommy Kogan in the 55. Tommy Kogan currently running in third in GT3, 6 seconds back from Kyle Potter. So the gap with the top 5 right now really starting to get really spread out. But again, we're getting close to determining how many people really did their math calculations on the money to pull off that one stopper.
And I think we'll have to see Benjamin O'Shea probably come in for a second one because he stopped the earliest of all of our front runners in LMP3 Pro. And I think the same is probably going to be true for, I think, the likes of Gab Chavez, who came in right at that 35-minute marker. And we'll have to see whether or not we have another last lap pit box out of Gab Chavez. We saw that in Daytona. See if we have another one.
Yep.
Take a quick look further back. Paul York getting around both Andrew Matthias. Oh, sorry. Chris Turner getting around Andrew Matthias. But Matt Pyle.
Chasing down Paul York currently.
Yeah, chasing down Paul York. Matt Pyle building a 4-second gap to them. We saw the battle between all these cars a little while ago, and that still continues.
We got pit stops from Benjamin O'Shea and Zachary Minnis going on right now.
Yeah. I wonder how much that puts him into the fight with Luke Patrick. Sorry, talking about Benjamin O'Shea. Where he ends up at the end of this. How long is he in the box? The answer, 6 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to hang on to it because there's only 200 meters between him and Luke Patrick, who is still out on track. Luke Patrick's just going to sneak out right in front of him.
Yeah, I think it's close-ish. I think Benjamin O'Shea has the pace to kind of make up that gap. But if they don't need to kind of come in, and he's going to get stuck behind a little bit of lap traffic. Garrett Hillman right behind him as well, applying a little bit of pressure. Car in front of him, or was in front of him just a moment ago, Colin Johnson, currently leading GT3 Pro, or GT4 Pro. It's been a busy league. Busy night tonight.
Yeah, and we haven't talked about the GT4s a lot. With Colin Johnson in front, this might be his best showing of the season so far. So Colin Johnson really putting in the work. Now, stopped on lap 37. Stopped on lap 24. So we're going to see if he can really make this into the one stop. Taking a look at the data, Zachary Minnis still in the pits. I think Zachary Minnis is in the pits for damage. I think something must have happened. Another fight I wanted to turn your attention to, we should take a look at what's going on with Chris York right now. Or not Chris York, but Paul York, Chris Turner. And I believe Andrew Matthias is also in the mix.
Oh, John Newman.
And John Newman manages to survive.
No, he doesn't. He gets turned by Paul Miles in the background of that.
Too soon.
And then he's going to tow from there. Paul Miles stops to let him through. And he gets that car going again afterwards.
How much damage does Paul Miles have is the question.
Doesn't look like a whole lot. It looked like he just clipped it in just the right way where the wheel popped up for John Newman. And that caused most of the kind of commotion we saw. But it did. We do see David Schneider with a broken front right. Yeah, that front right is not looking good. I'm guessing he took, made friends with the wall a little too hard.
Paul Miles into the pits. This could pull Garrett Hillman into the mix here. Paul Miles, if he's got that's a black flag. That's a drive-through.
Yeah, that is going to be a drive-through penalty. That's for that incident.
That's a drive-through.
Yeah, with John Newman.
We might have a race on our hands because Hillman is currently 15 seconds back. No, I think he's going to get out. I think he's going to get out well ahead of Hillman.
I don't know. We're going to have a drag race on our hands at least because Paul Miles just now clearing the pit lane control. And Garrett Hillman just coming across the start-finish line. The gap closes down considerably, but I don't think it's going to be as close. But I'll have to see.
So Andrew Mathias, Chris Turner, they're still going at it. Benjamin O'Shea in the GT4 trap. Paul Miles in. Oh, and that is the 33.
And there's Garrett
that's
Hillman.
Herbert Panetta Sr.
Oh, boy, howdy. Paul Miles gonna lose the spot out to Garrett Hillman and have a meatball as a result of that impact from, I think,
unfortunate,
the rear.
Bad luck.
Yeah. As a bad night goes from, or as a night goes from bad to worse. Matt Pyle, Ryan Beauchesne, getting back into each. Bit of a fight there. Mark Coyne as well, but he's a lap down from all of these drivers.
Both Chris Turner and Andrew Mathias into the pits. So again, another group of cars that couldn't quite pull off the two-stop, or excuse me, the one-stop strategy. So Chris Turner in the box for 3 seconds. Andrew Mathias in the box for 10. So that's going to give quite the advantage to Chris Turner relative to the battle with Andrew Mathias.
I think it is. It's going to be very...
Actually, Tanner Schiffner is in the background chasing down Chris Turner now.
Yeah. You got Nathaniel Baker also amongst all these GT3s trying to find his way back up the order after his incidents of the night. And I think Robert Lewis also closing in on Stephen McLean.
Yeah, Robert Lewis is starting to catch up. Last lap from Robert Lewis was a 22.19.
I'm watching Garrett Hillman in that gap is the one I'm thinking of them closing.
I got you.
So
I got you.
Not
so
as important.
Garrett Hillman going to clear some GT3 traffic.
Yep.
Yeah, not as big of a deal. But Robert Lewis currently running, what is that, 6th right now with a 19-second gap on Tyler Torville, so some good points potentially. And Tyler Torville, hats off to Tyler Torville, got caught up in some lap 5 shenanigans and has just basically been fighting for every place as he's been trying to maximize his points finish. Also, Mark Coyne still in it. Got involved in some shenanigans, lost his wing, went in, get some repairs, and he's trying to get right back in it.
Oh, well, we talked about him, and then he found the wall once again. I'll see him, I think, be a little unhappy with that car.
Taking a look right now, Ryan Beauchesne, I think, is trying to pull away from Matt Pyle.
Velasco.
So this battle is really close. Into the hairpin we go.
Out of the hairpin we come.
So we got less than 8 minutes left in this race. 48 laps done. Paul York in the pits. Not going to be able to get all the way to the end.
Michael Lively looking for a late race position fight with Alex Velasco for P6 in class. Rest of the drivers pretty much the top 4 all as they started. Many seconds, I think, separating almost all of them. Benjamin O'Shea slowly trying to bite away at the pace that Luke Patrick is setting. I have to imagine he has to try to increase that pace by a couple more tenths in order to bring it to a head. We have 2 battles on track happening right at the same time here. Matt Pyle, Ryan Beauchesne going for a fight, as well as Alex Velasco and Michael Lively are going at it as well. The 2 of those.
How did they get through that corner without touching?
Good heads-up awareness and the willingness to wait and be patient. It can happen. We saw it right there. I'm not saying that it's happened all night, but
it can happen. It can be real.
It can exist.
Robert Lewis in the pits, and he's going to be in the box for 7 seconds, so he's going to lose out to Tyler Torville, who I think, relative to his stop, probably good to the end, because he stopped on lap 29, and he's going to cycle out actually behind this battle with Matt Pyle. Where's he going to cycle out? There's Robert Lewis.
Sean Sullivan now with a meatball flag for making contact with a wall, I believe.
Robert Lewis dropping down to 9th. But so Tanner Schiffner going into the pits, can't get to the end of the race.
Yeah. I don't know if I think a good handful. This battle between these two, still going with it. Nick Bowen not willing to back out either. He's going to split them up a little bit. Oh, good heads up.
It's early. It's early. Got less than 6 minutes. But I do want to comment on how Tommy Cogan stopped on lap 27 and went the deepest into the race on the currently probably the only GT3 on the true stop strategy. So we're gonna see. Gab Chavez currently has a 3-second gap, 3.5 seconds. We'll see. Sorry to hear about that. I believe that's John Newman.
Yeah,
in
that is John Newman
right now. So
it was, I think, a sad end, but I think it's
sorry to hear that, man.
Unfortunately, even sadder for a few more of our drivers. About incident between Alex Velasco and Michael Lively. Take a quick look at this before we get into the final few minutes of the race. This is in the Firestone corner. A incident there. Sean Sullivan amongst those drivers gets tapped. Oh, that's right, of course, in the middle of the spot I can't see with that camera. So we'll try it again. Sean Sullivan getting into the side, gets a little bit of a touch with the wall, tips Alex Velasco, who then collects Michael Lively with that corner, that right rear, which is enough to cause him to spin out and also end up having to take some damage and clear a flag there as well.
Logan Branson, Gab Chavez labeled this crash, but everybody's moving. So I think it was probably just another one of those weird corners where we had the accordion effect.
We did see a good number of drivers have unfortunate incidents there. Few different quarters throughout the race that were the hairpin particularly not super great. Colin Johnson trying to make the one stop work. Nick Bowen now only a few tenths behind. This is a battle for GT4 Pro. Let's take a look right aboard with the Aston Martin GT4 as the hunt is on for Nick Bowen in the closing minutes here. 3 to go. I think Colin Johnson, you guys are very good at commentating. I don't know about that. I think we're the most serviceable.
I appreciate that design. You're too kind.
Thank you.
We try. The main thing that we would like to talk about is we like to talk about the guys and girls that are on track right now because they make the action exciting to watch, and we hope that they get to watch the stream back and get to see some good moments and stuff like that. So that's why we're here.
Yeah.
But we got less than 3 minutes, Finn.
We got less than 3 minutes.
Ethan Hamlet is marked as crash.
Oh boy. He still looks like he's moving. Chris Turner had to jump to the pits. Let's take a look at these. I think here in a moment. I was kind of following this battle for the GT4 Pro lead. Oh, Robert Lewis going to get involved. Gab Chavez, I think that's a battle for position. That's a lap position. Excuse me. Gab Chavez trying to lap Robert Lewis. So get ahead of P9. I know worst, and you guys are very good at what you're doing. You are too kind. Thank you. Another meatball flag for Garrett Hillman as well.
Yeah, so also Steve McLean having? No, that is Garrett Hillman. Was the one meatball flag. Christopher Blue is in the pits. So again, this is another one of those folks that couldn't get to the end on the fuel strat. So Christopher Blue into the pits. Still waiting to see, is Gab Chavez going to be able to pull it off with stopping 2 laps earlier than Tommy Cogan. Kyle Potter also a little bit deeper into the first stint than Gab Chavez. So we're going to see. It's going to be close.
For those who are just tuning in, it has been a busy 69 minutes. And we have 1 more minute to go.
Just looking right now, so we're 52 laps in on Ethan Hamlet, and he's currently a third of the way through the lap. So I'm wondering if he's going to actually take checkers on this time around. I'm not sure. It could be close.
Yeah, I think it's going to be checkers because
if he generates another lap that
No,
even puts folks like Gab Chavez even more in risk.
he got the white flag last time by. The white flag is out.
Okay.
For
Okay.
those incidents.
Good to
for
know.
that one. So Tommy Kogan, Gab Chavez, trying to make it work. Gab Chavez, I think, is on a heavy fuel save at this point, running about half a second slower than Tommy Kogan. We got this battle on track. We have the battle between Nick Bowen and Colin Johnson for the lead of GT4 Pro. 70 minutes later, we have battles in class pretty much across the board. It's right along board. We haven't ridden a Lamborghini yet today. We haven't listened to that V10. Yeah, V10. Sing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. It's right along board with Tommy Kogan for the rest of this lap for these two drivers. I believe, based on where I know of the GT4s, they're not far behind, and we'll jump over to Nick Bowen once they cross the checkered flag here for these two.
Yep.
Top
Ethan
four
Hamlet will
in LMP. So top four in LMP3 as they were to start, and Ethan Hamlin is going to come home the winner there in LMP3 Pro. Where's the look?
Looks like Gian Cardoso has already crossed the line, so fifth on down. They're gonna get the checkers, and it looks like from Christopher Blue on down, starting with fifth.
Yeah.
They're gonna take the checker flag, but this battle right here is gonna go down to the wire.
Oh, Gab Chavez got a decent run. I think Gab Chavez is going to pull away and hold on to it.
He's gonna pull it off. He's gonna pull it off. So yep, the 25 lap strategy was enough to get it done. Big finish for Gab Chavez. By the way, went 2 laps over on his second stint. So went from 25 lap to a what is that? 27 lap second stint. So big fuel save out of Gab Chavez to get it all the way to the end. Kyle Potter looks like he's going to come across the line in third.
Yeah.
And then we got Steve McLean coming across the line in fourth. We've got a lot to talk about, Finn.
We sure do. I think we're waiting on a couple more cars. The likes, I would say of Scott Fleming. He's already come across the line here. We're waiting on a couple more. I think David Schneider. Nope, excuse me. I think we got everybody. Forgive me. So, going to our feature results here. We have a lot to talk about. Let's see what we can.
While you're doing that, want to give a shout out in chat to I believe that is Jogboat. We've got Jay Lutton. Thank you guys for the follow, and Thief with the second month sub with Prime. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you all for the support. It means the world. I think to us, it means the world to the drivers here who are out tonight. What a race! What a busy 70 minutes. Chris Turner. All I can say is wow, the driving standards. Definitely excited to see how this will have a longer penalty review than
the
Sebring.
review process is going to be wild. That is going to be wild.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a tough race for everybody involved.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky, but at the same time too, we do have the 3 drop rounds involved, and yeah, it was a big one. Is that a car on top of it?
Oh, there it is.
Okay. Okay. Oh, wow. And
Perfect timing.
What a finish.
All right.
What a finish. But anyway, let's talk about these results.
Let's talk about these results. Ethan Hamlin, the car you just saw get jettisoned off the track, came home the winner, 30 seconds ahead of Jaden Ledbetter. Luke Patrick going to come home in third there. Benjamin O'Shea in fourth. The 4 drivers on the lead lap. Gian Cardoso, who you see here doing a couple last burnouts, coming home in fifth. And Alex Velasco, Nathaniel Baker, Michael Lively, Mike Bowen, Quinn Fenimore are going to be the 10, I think, LMP3 Pro drivers to finish this race. LMP3 AM, Phil?
Yeah, so looking at the results here, Alan Love taking his first LMP3 top finish with Garrett Hillman in second. Paul Miles dropping to third, managing to recover as many points as possible with that contact there at the end. Zachary Minnis in fourth, with Cameron Robertson fifth, and Tyler Crow in sixth.
Yeah, I think pretty much Tyler Crow out after lap number 1 or 2. It was pretty early on. GT3, our biggest single class here tonight. Gab Chavez wins by 0.2 to Tommy Kogan after a fantastic fuel save in the second stint for him. Keeps him in the running. Kyle Potter comes home in third. Stephen McLean in fourth. Christopher Blue with a top 5 for that car as well. Tyler Tourville, Matt Pyle, Ryan Beauchesne, Robert Lewis and Andrew Matthias are the top 10, with Paul York, Tanner Schiffner, Mark Coyne, Chris Turner, Ryan Nolan, Austin Green, Herbert Pineda Sr., all coming home to finish the race. Ian Southern about 30 laps down as he retired early and hit a DNF there. GT4 Pro.
GT4 Pro Colin Johnson taking his first top finish. Nick Bowen in second with Jake Hewitt in third. Scott Fleming in fourth. Henry Garcia manages to score a fifth place finish. Tim Mello in sixth with Levi Powell and Corey Lobner rounding out the top 8.
And last but certainly not least, we have GT4 AM. Sean Harvey going to come home with the winner there. Logan Branson in a second by a few seconds. Almost a great, very good recovery drive for Logan Branson after that heat race. Andrew Seelig coming home in third there. David Schneider in fourth. Adrian Merzak in fifth. William Lewis going to come home in sixth. Sean Sullivan in seventh. John Newman in 10th after getting, unfortunately, I think a series of incidents, a series of unfortunate events, one might say, to round out that one. Jonathan Barrett, Joseph Savage, going to be the 10 drivers there that take home the checkered flag. Last two, I think, are ones that don't see it per se. So, oh man.
Yep, so much to cover.
So much to cover.
I think the points... we're probably not going to see too much of a shift in the points, if I'm honest, because we've got a number of people that have been involved in the first few rounds. So I suspect we'll see a little bit of a shift, but not too much. Again, we do have the 3 drop rounds this season. And then we've got both Laguna Seca coming up February 28th, followed by Detroit at Belle Isle in the second week of March. So we've got 3 really tough races all stuck together, especially with multi-class racing involved. Those are tough tracks, even in a single make setting. So just keep that in mind. It's also an opportunity where, maybe you had bad luck at Long Beach, but maybe, you'll have good luck at one of those other 2 tracks. You never know. One of those tracks might not be your drop round. That might be one that sets you apart in placement for whatever category you're fighting for. I'd say knuckle down, just keep your head on a swivel and try and do the best that you can and produce the best result that you can muster. It's all you can do in some of these circumstances.
Design MK1, I would say check out the Discord. Would be the best place to find the replays of all that chaos. We'll have these videos stream live on Twitch, also end up on YouTube pretty shortly after the fact. So you can go back through and scrub through all of the footage there and the chaos that unfolded over the course of 70 minutes of feature racing action that we had. I mean, what a race. I would say, just to kind of echo, not intentionally, but echo what Phil has said here. Long Beach, and I mean it when I say it. I love Long Beach because it forces you to work within the bounds of the track, and you really learn who is good at that and who is bad at that, regardless of how fast they are generally, and who is good, who can be consistent within it. So it's as much about not dying as it is about speed and keeping out of the way of others, or making sure you don't run into things. So such a fun track. I'm excited for Detroit Belle Isle because it's almost a lot of the similar stakes of close, tight racing in a street circuit. I think 0x or death are the 2 options. They kind of are. It's not always death. You can get away with it if you're lucky enough. I've had a few races that I've managed to persevere through, getting good at, managing a slide or things like that. But with us going to Detroit Belle Isle later on the season, it's going to be, I think, equally as interesting as tonight.
Yeah.
And I hope we see as many of these drivers out here, especially because I think it'd be a great round to have as a bank round in case you have, an even worse round later on. Because while we had incidents that caused issues here, it's still not the same as some of the big wrecks we've had in other tracks. I feel like we had a lot of small incidents in this one that were just constantly rolling. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I think it has a lot to do with, again, the tight nature of some of the circuits that are on the calendar and the number of people that we have involved this season. But at the same time, too, like, if people are going to be taking a lot of strategic drop rounds and stuff like that, you might want to pay attention in chat to figure out, to a degree, who might be pulling the trigger on a drop round, because that might be a race for you to actually like slot in and try and farm some points. So you definitely want to be strategic about this sort of thing. You don't necessarily just want to skip the tracks just because they're hard, or just because there's a lot of cars.
Yeah.
So just keep those things in mind when you're getting prepared for the oncoming rounds. But that said, I thought that there was still some really good racing action that we got to see, some really close battles. Traffic management was really tough. It was really tough, especially when you got in the middle sector, when you were getting out of Tecate and you were getting into Seaside. That whole section, I knew it was going to be chaotic because it's one of the widest parts of the track, and everybody is like, "Oh, this is the moment. I'm going to try and pass now." Probably not. It's a really short run down to Seaside. It's really tough.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it's like the hairpin. Like, we saw a number of people get involved in incidents in the hairpin that still managed to end up scoring good points in the race. So, I mean, it just works out sometimes.
Absolutely. It's really gives and takes. And I think it's true of a lot of tracks, but I think even more so this one because of the way, the lack of, runoff you have for a lot of these corners, minus a couple of the hairpins, which have a little bit of runoff. So in case you cook it going into it, you have somewhere to go where you're not immediately in the racing line. But a lot of the nice sweepers, you don't have a whole ton of room to kind of be offline without losing speed or time or causing problems. But that is, I think, the end of the race for the evening. And I think we will start to wrap up this stream here because we have...
Yeah, let's see if we can find someone to rate. I'm going to go take a look right now and see who we can find.
All right, you do that. I will give us one more chance for those of you who haven't already who want to, please check us out on Discord to find all the racing action here. We are a league that runs not quite every other Saturday, but every few Saturdays, and then you take a few weeks off, and then you run a couple more Saturdays, and then a few weeks off, and a couple more. You can find our schedule and everything else on the Discord there is the best way to get in touch and get into the action here. We are currently, I think, a little at capacity from what I've heard at the moment. But oftentimes we've had a few drivers come and go. So if you want to get in on the action here, best way to do is keep up on the Discord. You'll find out very soon. We usually reopen as drivers, have life happen to them and things, aren't able to make it for the rest of a season or for a whole season afterwards. We open up registration as soon as we have pretty much the availability to do so. So if that seems up your alley and this kind of racing is the thing you want to go do or go be a part of or go at least, get notifications about, check us out there. Follow us here on the Twitch if you are an individual that live action streaming like this on these Saturday nights that we do every so often. And then our YouTube is where you can find things that are not live, but it's basically all of our races that we broadcast here in a not pay for you. That's very incorrect. In a free to access whenever you want format, which is the opposite of pay per view. Anyway, that's where you can find us. So thank you all very much for watching. Those of you who stopped by the stream, big also thank you again to Crooketize for the raid earlier on. It has been fantastic having you all here to spend some of the Saturday night with us, or Sunday morning if you're across the pond. Or Sunday afternoon if you're like way across the other pond in Australia.
It's and thanks to everybody who did hang around and watch the end of the race. Like we ended the stream with like 73 plus viewers. Like that's really awesome. It's a lot of fun. Should I go ahead and kick the raid off? We've got Naughty XLX Wolf, who is doing GR86 on the mountain.
Oh, all right.
So that seems like a lot of fun. So let's go give them a raid, say hello.
Nice.
Watch some fun racing on the mountain. You never know.
Absolutely.
You might see some fun action. Until next time, I guess, take care, everybody.
Yeah. Have a good evening, everyone. We'll catch you all very soon. And we'll see you in a few weeks for Laguna Seca. All right.
Let's
kick it off.
It's going to be fun. Take care, everyone.